What's going on, guys? I know pretty much everybody and their mother has agreed that prank channels just aren't what they used to be as far as when, certain pranks would be good. Ross Creation is probably one of the only ones in recent memory that I know of that still makes at least good, harmless pranks. Really stupid ones. He's walked around with a seatbelt on his person while walking. He sees a cop, he goes, "Ooh," and he would click it. Dead bodies inside of freezers while getting people to come help him with the freezer. Or he'll put cotton candy in the wall and pretend to be like a slow little brother of the person that called a person to come in to work on the wall, and he would go over and go, oh, and start eating it, and it would look like it was insulation. That's just a small number of stuff, which I've watched plenty of his videos. I'm pretty sure unanimously everybody can agree Ross Creations is like the only good prank channel. There might be a few that I don't know, but he's the only one I can think of. But there is definitely a thing that you don't do, and pranking can go pretty bad, especially when you are making what would essentially be threats.
Oh my God.
You good?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Do not move. There's a guy coming in here. He has a gun. I don't know what to do. We have to evaluate. Now, look, don't move so sturdy because he has a gun and I don't know what he's liable to do. But we're just going to sit here and act like we're eating, okay?
Please tell me not, Kate, you're kidding. Okay, I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Look, he has a gun. He's trying to harm everyone in McDonald's.
So I'm pretty sure we can be in agreement, right? That that was stupid, that you shouldn't do that. Going into random places, scaring the hell out of people is not a good idea, especially for content. And like getting the clip farms that you're going to get and the amount of, reception and views and people subbing or following or whatever it may be on whatever platform you use, usually just makes one big group of like degenerates, and all they're going to do is try to push you to go further and further. In some degrees, it could actually land people in jail. It gets to the point that people do get hurt, quite literally, like the actual people themselves, because they'll push the pranks so far. And I know this is just me going on a tangent, and this person hasn't reached that yet. But when people do pranks that seem so benign as just telling somebody a active shooter is about to walk into a restaurant that you're eating at, that's just the beginning of stuff. And also, to let you know, little quick thought, it could have went wrong. They could have instantly got hysterical, called the cops, gotten everybody else hysterical, and then when, you're calling the cops saying, hey, there's a guy with a gun, I can't see him, but somebody come in saying there's an active shooter, the cops are not going to take that lightly, okay? This is like next to swatting. It's literally pretty similar as far as, in my opinion, adjacent to it. To where whatever the charges would happen, for sure he wouldn't take responsibility. So, you would have ruined these girls' lives for abusing 911 and then basically advocating for like a SWAT team essentially, or a defensive team of the police to show up ready to find somebody that may be there to kill somebody. So I don't see at what point that this was a good idea or why you thought this would be funny. Now, I would also like to make the quick reference here, like this isn't like scare tactics. I've seen a lot of people haven't mentioned that, but I've seen a few comments pop up saying, scare tactics used to do stuff like that to scare people. They were in a controlled environment. They were in control. These were people volunteering their friends for a setup, for a gag, and most of them were like not even like realistic. It would be people afraid of giant rat man. It's stuff that shouldn't be real, but they made it seem more realistic and put them in a very obscure environment. They didn't go around and get a whole bunch of people feeling like they're about to get shot. They don't want people feeling like they're, going to be in a bomb threat, nothing like that. That has got to be like the most narrow-minded mix-up you could do. And it hasn't been a lot of people. I'm just saying I have seen a few comments trying to compare the two to defend, pranks like this. Now, like I said, there is still good pranks out there, like Ross Creation, I said, and probably a whole plethora of other Ross Creation adjacent people, really good quality people. Because like this, I think the reason why they don't go those routes and they go the cheap routes is because they don't have any artistic, creative minds. So they don't try to come up with good pranks. Like the biggest prank that happened to me was a coworker. I have a cage where we put all of our, tools and extra parts for what I work on. And in the cage, so you don't get locked in, you take the lock with you and shut the cage so nobody can see what you're, so they don't try to peek in and grab your inventory, stuff like that. Well, a coworker decided to go up with a bolt, and it's just a latch, and he threw the bolt in there, ran off, got on his radio, called me over the radio, and pretended to be somebody and said they needed me over in a certain station to go work on it. And I have to say, I panicked. I was freaking out. And I didn't know what to do. And yes, I had a radio and I could have called for help. I don't know why, but I freaked out and I seen one of the forklift drivers coming around. And I'm over here shaking him down in the cage like, hey, help me. And he got me out. I was pretty mad. I actually went to the one of the managers of that shift. And I was like, I need to look at the footage, see who did it. And he laughed when he saw who it was. And I went and yelled at him. And I told him, you know what? You're a shitty person. I mean, I laughed about it, but I also was mad. Because that right there is a pretty funny prank. I'm pretty sure if I had a real call, he would have got me out. But making fake threats at people shouldn't be taken lightly because we have a very, very big problem with pranks in general. They've been a problem for a long time. People have been shot for pranks. People have gotten hurt for pranks. And then people have gotten the police involved in situations that didn't need them. You got to think all this through before you try to pull even the smallest pranks. One good one now, actually, I completely forgot about, is like the Bushman. The whole actions have consequences thing. You're going to scare somebody, you're taking the responsibility, you could be smacked because some people's fear defense is just slap at whatever's coming at them to scare them because they don't know what it is. So yeah, you're taking a little bit of an obligation that you could, get put in harm. But to actively try to scare somebody without even knowing if they have a medical condition, their anxiety could already be bad. They might be having a bad day. That could have been it. That's the day. But yeah, guys, I think I ran it on long enough. I just wanted to share this with you guys. Tell me what you think. Y'all have a good one.